I'm Wavinya Maliti. I've just graduated from the University of Nairobi with a bachelor's degree in design, specializing in product design. Yes. The lamp is interesting because I had to do some beadwork on it. My talent and I believe the love of the art actually has come from, I got it from my grandmother. My grandmother used to make ceramic pots. She used to weave. So I believe in a way it is just an extension of my heritage. How are you? Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
No, don't worry. I'm actually having an open house. And I wanted it to be simple. And I wanted it to be with the people who are around me. Because I think we always think for that person out there, I want to reach so and so, or I want to reach the wider people. And I thought I should begin at home. I should begin with the people I know. I should begin with, the friends and family and people around me. And then now begin to spread beyond that. So this is my big brother, whose house I have taken over for the afternoon. Thank you.
And that's Naja Mushtaq. Huyu ni mwalimu John C.D. Okumu, a man of many titles. Ali Zedi.
My name is Maliti.
These are the participants of my first ever exhibition. In African art, what would be considered their artifacts were actually things that they used. So they weren't considered art then, but if we look at it now, the pottery, the pots they used, the things they used even in their homes had function. So they were beautiful to look at, but they also had function. We are very conventional with our lighting. It's only the lights that are on the ceiling or lights that are on the wall or on the floor. So I wanted to play around with, can we have lighting that is also sculptural? This is one of my beginner ceramic articles. I'd say I'm still learning. There's a lot of learning to be done. For me, beadwork, I love beadwork because it just brings different texture. And I wanted to play around with texture. Again, the beads.
We call them a blessing.
I wanted to continue the idea of the beadwork so that then it actually, again, with the sense of community, can correspond with the lamp. So that if you have this in your living room, this element picks the aesthetic value of the lamp. And all of it just adds to the beauty. A fruit platter, if you will. The inspiration, the shape is actually from a pumpkin leaf. Yes. My grandma grows pumpkins and I've grown up with pumpkins. So it's a common plant around. And very rarely do we remember the leaves. So I thought that this would pay homage to the leaf. Yes. This is a pot or a vase. Can either be indoor or outdoor. So there's this, there's that one. This table is actually goes with the chair. There's a sofa right here. A two-seater. That is in essence like a set because it takes time.
I know.
And because leather is so hard to work with, it actually takes a toll on like the hands. So like these are leaf-like elements that are combined to now form this one art piece. The leather is a single piece that I then cut out and in a sense sculpted as it was wet, because when it's wet it's more malleable. And then added vibrant color to it. There's a vase. And someone pointed out it looks like a wine jug. I hadn't even thought of that, but I just thought that there are a lot of vases that I feel don't have character. So I wanted to give this one a bit of character, which is why also the glazing is two-tone. So it was double glazed. which was very tricky, but I think it turned out okay. The inspiration for this article came from a project, one of my projects that I was doing, my final project actually for 4th year. And it incorporates the Arabesque designs. So this is from a leaf design, but it's highly simplified. The design is more complex, it's more intricate. But because I wanted it to have a simpler look and still be understood by people. And the beauty of this is that it doesn't only have to be used as a candle holder. You could decide to put your pencils. You could decide to put your brushes if you're an artist. This is also a vase. It can be a kitchen piece. It can be a living room piece. Yeah, for flowers. It can be for utensils. I can be eating. I love to eat. So I can be eating, and I realize, for example, when you cut open a tomato, the way the seeds are put, the way you cut it, whether you cut it, across, or the seed pattern, as it were, is very interesting and can be interesting on many levels, and that can be translated into so many different things. So for me, inspiration can be anything. It can be watching a movie and then I see something and I'm like, oh, okay, that concept looks interesting. What if I take the concept and use it in a different area? I think the shades of color, I think even the shape of some of the forms. Yeah, so it's interesting that there's that similarity, but it wasn't deliberate. Something doesn't have to necessarily be complex to appeal to you. It can be a simple shape, it can be a simple line. And color adds a world of difference to any space, to any room. This is the coil technique, which is why it has, the surface is not very smooth, because this is actually coils that are put together and then there's glaze over it. Yeah, to give it that finish. This piece came about because I was doing casting. And I was trying out the slip technique, which is a technique where you use liquid clay, as it were, to then create a form, and you use a mold. It's possible to lose who we are. It's possible to lose our identity to technology, to whatever it may be. And I think, like the way you said, people's need to want to go back home, or when it comes to certain ceremonies like weddings, you want to embrace then where you come from. I think that is an innate need for us to continue being a community. No man is an island. Yeah, so even with things, I think they should have some correlation with each other. And it doesn't mean that, for example, the use has to be the same, or they have to be items of either the living room or the kitchen. It can be in different areas of the home, but together they come together. Okay. Yeah. You have something to offer, it means that I have something to offer. They may both be different, but together can be something extremely exciting. Yeah.